Josh, well, right now it's 10:37. Let's get over to meteorologist Hannah Gard for a look at your forecast. Hannah, when is it going to feel like fall?
Now, fall feel, it depends what we're talking about. Are we talking about a northern fall feel or for us? We will get a break in the heat later this week, but it's because we're going to see some rain chances coming around. For now, though, sunny and dry. We're going to still be dealing with the heat, but the breeze building as we go throughout the rest of this week toward the weekend. And then for the weekend, we're tracking storm chances from a Gulf disturbance that's going to be setting up to our south. Right now, though, most of us in the 80s. We have that northeasterly breeze still, so that's keeping the drier air around. There's also some clouds coming in from the west, so that could help keep the temperatures down a little bit compared to maybe yesterday, but it's still going to be pretty hot. Over to our east, we got Hurricane Imelda, that's Category 1, and Hurricane Umberto, also now a Category 1. It has been weakening, dealing with a lot of wind shear over there, and they are interacting in that Fujiwara effect, which is when Umberto is kind of pulling Imelda to the east. Umberto itself going a little bit west, and then it's going to head out of here. So both of these storms heading away from the U.S. coastline, which is great news, especially with the proximity of Hurricane Imelda there. We're going to see that heading out. Then there's a low to our south. We'll watch for what happens with that one, but first got to get these two storms out of here. You see Imelda is pretty much going due northeast at this point. Umberto to the north first, again, because they're kind of rotating around each other. Now Umberto is not going to go fully to the west, but north and then east as well and out of here. On water vapor, we have some interesting features we got to watch for. Here is an upper level low. It's that counterclockwise spin. That one kind of combining with Imelda at this point, but then if you look over here to the west, you can also see this upper level low with the counterclockwise spin. That one will be important because we have high pressure up here. That's the clockwise rotation. It's going to kind of sink underneath that high and sit down to the south. And anytime that happens, we got to watch for some tropical mischief happening. Now, I don't know that this would be a storm. It's more of a disturbance, but you can get kind of a tropical feature happening when you have low pressure sitting over the Gulf underneath that area of high pressure. So here's what we're looking at for the weekend. Sunday looks like the best chance of getting some of those storms inland as that Gulf feature moves onshore. The water temperatures incredibly warm across the entire Gulf, so we do have to watch this. I don't think it's necessarily something that could very quickly strengthen, but again, conditions are there, and if we do see that disturbance sitting over the warmer waters, we got to keep an eye on it. The rain is the main concern. You can see this big bullseye offshore from Imelda over there in Florida, and then also that pooling moisture with the Gulf disturbance. For us, the bullseye located offshore, that's where we're seeing up to 5 inches of rain. This is very typical of a tropical system with the modeling. And when it actually happens, a lot of the time the tropical moisture will stay offshore unless we get that feature really pushing inland. So maybe a lot of it is coastal, but we got to watch for the trend for where the big bullseye of rain is. If that tries to translate inland, again, for the weekend, that could be a problem. So if you do have weekend plans, make sure you're monitoring the forecast closely. We'll see updates as we go throughout this week on the model trends, but the winds are definitely going to pick up. Right now they're coming from the north. This is the gusts. They'll start getting pretty gusty by Friday, Saturday from the east as that disturbance is moving northward. We could get 25-mile-per-hour wind gusts there Friday, and then by Saturday we could be looking at 30-mile-per-hour wind gusts. It'll be pretty windy. Our next storm name is Jerry. I don't know that this will develop into a storm, but something to watch as we go throughout the next 7 days. With the rain, though, we'll go from 92 to 88 Thursday, a couple of showers, but mainly it's the breeze that's dropping the temperatures at first until the weekend. Then that's the rain bringing us to around 84, finally below normal. Lots of sunshine out there right now, though. We're dealing with that heat today. Temperatures sitting in the 80s across the area right now. We'll get to 92 today with that near record heat. So if you work outdoors, still feeling hot, make sure you're staying hydrated. The drier air helps, though, keep the heat index really close to that actual temperature. And then we'll finally get some relief late week. It might feel a little bit more like fall, but with the rain, it might be difficult to get outside. So we'll track that weekend forecast. Make sure you're staying tuned.
We're going to will it into existence. Thanks, Hannah. Well, an event this Saturday.